Hello, my name is Stas and I have been living in Poland for 9 years. Today we will talk about company registration, about how it's better to do it through a notary or online. Once again, yes, you can register a company either way, and we will discuss the pros and cons of each option. If it's a notarial registration, then first of all, you need to understand how you are going to do it. Remotely or be present in person, conditionally at the notary, yes. And if remotely, then powers of attorney are issued. If in person, then, well, in person. In person, the process looks like this, that you, in an ideal world, in an ideal scenario, you provide some company parameters, what you will be doing, discuss all the nuances and risks, and go to the notary. And based on this, he drafts the company's charter, which he personalizes for you. And then, there is also a sworn translator who must sit and translate everything that the notary reads out. And the entire company registration process takes place there. What are the pros and cons of registering a company through a notary? Pros. First, it is the ability to contribute not only money to the company's share capital, but also other material and intangible assets. That is a car, intellectual property, a trademark, and other such things. The second thing is the ability to outline the company's organizational structure in a more complex way. These can include owners, board members, chairman of the board, proxies, supervisory board, and other legal entities that are easier to include through a notary, to outline all this in the company's charter, to possibly outline some formats of interaction for all this, and so on. It is also possible to write in the company's charter some things related to the resale of shares, with certain risks if, God forbid, one of the partners dies. That is to customize as much as possible, to tailor the company's charter to your needs. It is essentially a kind of agreement between you as partners. And this is, well, a great opportunity. It's a plus. Plus, the second advantage is that it looks more familiar, especially for older people. Yes, it looks more familiar, more understandable. Like we sat here, there's the notary with his suit, I don't know, a robe and curlers. Here sits the sworn translator. We have a round table. Everything is beautiful. And here we are registering a company. Well, many people like it. Many somehow believe in this format of registration more. It's more familiar to them. I don't know if it's a plus or not. It's just a fact. By the way, if you are attracting some large investments or you have an important deal and you are registering a company together, then probably yes, there is a sense in this that you all gathered together and it looks more appropriate and prestigious, and you can outline more risks in the company's charter. Friends, what are the downsides? Firstly, notarial registration is a very lengthy process. It's a long process. It's to travel, find a notary, spend time to arrive, for everyone to come to one location at the right moment, and the registration itself takes a long time. The registration through a notary takes on average a month to a month and a half. Unlike online, where is this done? Sometimes it takes a couple of days there, but on average it takes 7 days. Let's say, therefore, the first downside is that it's lengthy. The second downside is the reliance on offline. And from the moment you register a company through a notary, you will need to do it every time. Any changes also need to be made through a notary, which is inconvenient because all your directions might change today. There are shares, roles, so main capital, legal address, and each time you will need to go to a notary, pay extra, spend money and time on it. With online registration, logically, you can change all of this online. Another downside is that it is more expensive. Usually it is 50 or 100% more expensive than the fee you see with online registration. And most often there is no need for this. That is, there is no need to draft a customized company charter. To bother with, most people don't have a dozen partners, investors, and all the rest. Specifically to carry out this company merger, or anything else, meaning there's simply no need to complicate your life, okay? Let's talk about online registration. What are the advantages? Logically, yes, it's the speed of registration. As I already mentioned, it's several times faster. It's usually cheaper. And you actually have more control over the process because you have access to the 24/7 system where it's all done. And you can really even learn and change some things yourself, see what letters you receive from government agencies. That is more control over the processes. Usually with online registration, more companies focus on the registration itself and the nuances. Some of them. Although it should be the other way around. Nevertheless, with online registration, for example, with us, you fill out a brief, we analyze it, we discuss who has the signing authority, who has the right to sell a share of the company without the signature of other partners. That is, we configure and package all these things like a constructor, and then we register the company there. At the notary, usually no one really asks you anything. That is, they do it all at their discretion. They ask for the company name, they ask for the types of activities and the owner's details, who to include in the company's charter. We register companies like this, for example, for our clients only online, simply for the reasons I mentioned. It's faster, cheaper, the process is clearer, more transparent, we manage the process, and so on. All those electronic signatures, mixing, matching, pixels, that's all. In the end, it will still be useful to you, even if you register the company through a notary. Therefore, we advocate for doing everything correctly from the start, properly onboarding the client, yes, and then calmly registering the company. Then working in Poland. And the second reason why we register companies online for our clients is our own experience. When we were registering a company, there was no option to register it online yet. And we did it through a notary, and these were lawyers, yes, who didn't really want to bother and then pick up the phone. After registration, we registered the company for €1,500, which at that time was a lot of money for us. And then they told us about the list of beneficiaries, the white list, carpenters, Watts, about some declarations not according to 8, where to submit the tax on the contribution of capital. That is, no one coddles you or tells you what else needs to be done, or what else. What other things are there? If you don't ask the right question, how do you know which are the right questions to ask? Well, of course, if you've watched our channel, then you already know, but most people don't know. And consulting companies keep like us, or someone else, we're not the only ones. They just build a process for small businesses to truly launch a client into the Polish market, to truly start their business and cover as many risks as possible, about which they might simply not know or even suspect. And it's also important to understand that if you register the company online, you can always make any changes. Through a notary, meaning you can switch from online to offline through a notary. Well, let's say you registered a company online, you have a template company charter, but now you're expanding with new partners. You need to edit the charter there. You can easily switch to a notary who will convert everything to offline for you, but then you'll be permanently tied to offline as well. But if you registered through a notary, you cannot switch to online. You will always need to make any changes in the company only through a notary, only through this offline chain. That's all. Think about it, make your decisions. In any case, we will be happy to help you. Thank you and goodbye.